Hello Informed Crows, I'm John from the Haunt Informer, and today I'm going to be giving you my review of Hidden Screams, located in Lewistown, Pennsylvania. So I'm telling you about my experience at the Hidden Screams Haunt attraction today, and I was invited as media for their first media night. They actually gave me my own lanyard here and my own custom name tag, so thank you for that. That's very cool, and this is what the ticket looked like. They had it professionally done by Rogues Hall Productions, and it looks really good. Really enjoy that, and there's attraction rules on the back, so very cool theming. This year, the theme of the haunt is the rise of the Skeleton King, and there's multiple themes inside of the attraction with different names it tells you. The first theme is called Mayhem Manor, then it's Experimentus, Chamber of Lost Souls, and the Underworld, and all those themes are encapsulated into the attraction when you're walking through, and they all have names for every one of them above the archway of entrances for each of those themes. The props and effects that you'll experience at Hidden Screams is a mix of like Spirit Halloween but modified and Home Depot, and also props and animatronics from Distortion Unlimited and different companies like that. So it's a mix of all of that, and it's a mix of also custom props they've built themselves, and all the sets are custom made. A lot of them are foam, custom carved foam with that. So it's definitely cool. There's definitely a mix up of lighting in there. Sometimes there's black light areas where it looks like there's a toxic area, and other times it's a dark maze, and at some points there's laser swamps, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and it was very interactive. I really enjoyed that, and I'm very happy I got to go through with my other friends in the media. I got to go through with my friends, the owners of the Portals of Fear Haunt attraction. This year they're on a hiatus, and they're going to come back next year bigger and badder than ever, and they talked to me all about that, and I'm very excited to go to that attraction in 2025. It's going to be a blast, so shout out to them. Very nice people. Can't wait to see their attraction in person. And I also got to hang out with my friends from the Haunt Raider. We talked to the owner, Rob, and then talked amongst ourselves for a while in a special area they had for us with couches, and they had our names printed on the walls, which was cool. So it was nice. It was just a small little group of us, of the media, and talking to each other, and I just had a great time. I really did. It was wonderful. I'm very happy and appreciative I was invited. Had a blast. So, and then we got to see the makeup room where they do the makeup. They had a little station where you could do airbrush makeup, and they also had an area with costumes, and each costume for the different themes of the attraction were labeled out, so that was neat. I like that they had that, and they had their own racks for the different props and masks, and some people had lockers, and it was neat. And they had a whole refrigerator of water for the actors as well, so definitely really cool to see all that behind the scenes. And then we got to go through the attraction, and when you are entering the attraction as a customer, you'll park in that parking lot right behind the building, and you'll walk around to the front, and you'll see the Hidden Scream sign there, and you will see that there's a security guard there checking you, making sure you're safe, and they'll have some flashers there. And you will tell them you're there for the attraction, and you'll go in, they'll check you, and you'll go in, and you will go down the steps down there, and that'll take you to the entrance, and they have caution tape on the entrance door where you go into the attraction when you go down the steps, and they'll have a scare actress there and actually open the door, do a star scare on you, and be like, don't mess with my signs, read it, read the rules. And that was really cool. I like that energy immediately. And then they started out, and there's lady who will actually punch your ticket. So you can see there's a hole there. They actually punch your ticket, and they start the attraction out telling you about the rules of the attraction, make sure you are safe and have a good time. And they actually have a bowl of candy where you can take a piece of candy because you are going through the attraction, which is cool. So after you know the rules for the haunt and you have your ticket punched and get your candy, then the doors will open in front of you, and you will get a little backstory about Mr. Mayhem and what you are about to encounter, and you should be worried about the experiments he's been working on. And then you will go in, and it's dark at first, and you do some twists and turns, and then you'll start the attraction. And I'm not going to break every single theme apart. I'm just going to tell you like highlights that I can remember from it, because there was a lot to see. It was around 20-minute walkthrough if you're taking your time, so it is a fun time for sure. And one of the scenes I really enjoyed was the toxic area where they had the day glow, like really bright, really good quality UV paint all over the walls, and it looked like there was toxic waste on all the walls with the different detailing they had on there with like spray foam, and they had it all painted. It looked really good. I really liked that scene. Very vibrant, very cool. I like that. And I liked in this haunt there were dead ends where you could be misdirected by scare actors, or you just go there the wrong way on purpose. And at one point you could do that and it takes you to a checkered scene and you have to get turned around. And there was so many cool areas in this. I really enjoyed it. And I'm very happy to report that the scare actors here are very interactive, and I love it. They will talk to you. At some points, they'll actually stop you and tell you different skits. One of my favorite parts of the haunt was you had to knock on the door of this box where it looks like a massive jack-in-the-box, and a clown scare actor actually appears out of it, and she'll talk to you. And she had put on her own custom makeup on where it looked like she had black and white stripes on her neck, and she had custom clown makeup on, and she had contact lenses in. It looked very cool. And she tells you that, well, you have to have a secret passcode to get into the next part of the haunt. And she tells you mobile words. I'm not going to ruin it for you, so when you go, you don't know. And she tells you mobile words, and a couple times she tells you the wrong one, and then eventually you say one, and that's the right one. And then the scare actress in the next scene will let you in. She'll open the door for you, and you'll go in, and then you'll talk to her. And that clown scare actress was amazing. Really good energy. I loved her energy. She was very interactive. I loved the whole skit she did where she wanted you to pet her pet rat. So that was interesting. That was really cool. She had a prop rat. And one of the people in my group I went through with the Portals of Fears owners, and they said, "Can I keep the rat?" She's like, "No, it's my rat. You can't keep it." And then she did this whole skit talking to us, and then another clown scare actor came in, and he started doing like contortion, like crab walking, and I was like, that's cool. And then the scare actor said, "If you think that's cool, look at this." So then she started doing the crab walking, and then she like twisted her whole torso, like her whole body, like, oh man, it was so creepy. It was like really awesome. And then she got in our faces and said we had to get out, and or she was gonna take our intestines and turn them into balloons. So it was really cool. I loved her energy. She did a great job. And that leads you to other areas. And another area that was the most interactive out of the entire haunt was you got interacted with by this scare actor that looked like an evil Grim Reaper. He had a green skull mask on with this robe outfit, and he came at us and he told us, "You have to go in the corner." So then we went to the corner, and there was this gurney like with this body on it, and you had to stand next to that. And he came at us and he had a syringe. I actually kept it, and it's one of these disposable syringes here, and it has a plunger. You can pull it out and then push it out there, and it had a green liquid in it. It was like a toxic waste area. And he said, "You have to drink this." And first he gave it to one of the owners of Portals of Fear, and then she said, "Well, you should drink it, John, because you're going to talk about this." So I laughed, and then I took it, and I'm like, should I really drink this? Like, it looked like green toxic waste. It was like glowing green. I was like, what the heck's going on here? And then I drank it, and the scare actor was totally in character. Was like, "Make sure you drink all of it." And I did, and it was, in the end, it ended up being like sour apple, like Powerade or Gatorade, something along those lines. It wasn't bad. It was just really fun and interactive, and you really don't get that in most haunts. And they don't rush you through this haunt. You definitely can take your time going through the groups. I think the max Rob said of the number of people they put in a group is 4, so you definitely will get a personalized experience going through this haunt. At one point, there's claustrophobia bags you have to push through, so those are always very intense. These claustrophobia bags were very tight on you, and you had to push through, so very cool. And I love the ending. The ending was a laser swamp scare where you walk up these steps and you're on this metal grating, and it's perfectly fogged out. You cannot see, and the scare actor actually startled me in there. Great job. Definitely scared me there. And they disappeared under the fog and the mist in there with the lasers and scared one of the owners of Portals of Fear in there. So that was great. That was an awesome ending. And then the scare actors will then point you to the steps, and you walk up the steps, and that's the end of the haunt. I also really enjoyed the doll scene. She was very creepy. You had to go in, and she was very intense, and she said you had to dance. and the two owners of Portals of Fear started dancing, like goofily dancing. And I was like, "Do I have to dance?" He started screaming at me, "You have to dance!" And I was like, "Okay." So then I like did this like goofy like little Irish jig. I can't dance; it wasn't good. And then she let us go by, and then she said she wanted to play with us. And there was a whole bunch of creepy dolls everywhere with like grime on it. And there was like this massive stuffed teddy bear on this gross old mattress, and it was creepy for sure. And then she said, "Don't touch my clothes." And you had to go through this closet area where there was a whole bunch of clothes hanging in front of you, so you had to push them to have them out of your way. And then she yelled at us and was like, "You touched my clothes." So I was like, she did such a good job. I really love the scare acting here. One of my favorite parts is that instead of having a 12-foot skeleton standing like outside of the haunt, they had it above you at one point, and you had to walk under a 12-foot skeleton. They had mounted the ceiling. And I like the one part where you go through the crypt and there's like bones in all the walls and you have to go past that. Like that was custom made for the haunt that they did. Rob told me all about that, and it sounded like it took a long time to do. So definitely lots of fun interactive moments to this haunt, and really made it different and more interactive than a lot of haunts I've been to, because they actually stop you and do different skits. So really appreciate all the actors. Had a great time. And when you go outside, one of the scare actors out there, shout to Jack, he was doing sparking outside and chasing people, and that was awesome. So I definitely recommend going to Hidden Screams. You're going to have a good night out. You're going to have great interactivity with these scare actors. They cannot touch you and you cannot touch them. And you're going to have good interactivity with them. They're going to have lots of energy, definitely mess with you, stop you at points, have different skits, and you're going to have a great time. So I definitely recommend going to Hidden Screams. That was the Haunt Informer. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get a notification every single time I put a new video. Give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends. And I am on social media, and you can find all those links below. And tell me about your experiences at the Hidden Screams Haunted Attraction, and if you're going to any upcoming dates. Tell me all about that in the comments below. And as always, happy hauntings.